this should be interesting. I have in front of me the much discussed Mandalorian Amban phase pulse rifle. I think I have my expectations as to what the blaster is in check, and I'm wondering if that'll make me have a bit of a more positive opinion than others. I'm not expecting a lot of performance, which is good because I'm not going to get it. I do want to take 1 second to just say I feel like I had a misunderstanding about what these limited blasters are. I thought you order them far in the future. They come a year or so later, and you can only get them if you order them long ago. That's why I ordered the Aliens blaster. And now I see that, you know, you could either order this a year or so ago and still be waiting, or order it on Amazon and get it a few days later. Slight correction from me, I actually ordered this from Toys R Us online, not from Amazon. So maybe that's why it came packaged a little differently and a little bit more protected. That just makes me kind of question, why would you ever do any of the pre-orders? Really, I don't mind doing pre-orders for Kickstarters or anything for kind of a smaller business or to help with production, but to do a pre-order for these limited blasters, I don't know why I'm funding that. But anyway, I'm excited to see it. I am excited. I'm a Star Wars fan for sure. Probably a bigger Star Trek fan. And really, the only other Star Wars blaster that I was super interested in is this one. And I actually managed to find this one. Wow, this is in the way. I managed to find this one thrifting. Has light and sounds, fires glow-in-the-dark darts. I'm going to do a little short on this one at some point. But this is a really neat little blaster. Let's talk about the big one here in front of me. This box is so big, we're going super wide, and we'll show all the mess that's piled up around me on my floor, as it does when I'm working on different projects. So let's open this up carefully, because I probably, assuming I keep this and it's not so bad, I return it. I want to keep the packaging right. I've seen this open so many times on the YouTube. All right, we have our little instruction book. I will put it over here carefully so it's not ruined. We have a very plain piece of cardboard that is keeping in the pulse rifle. Just taking a look at that paint job before I get too into it. I definitely see what people are talking about with the silver. Wow. I was just pushing up on part of that, and I felt like I was going to break the plastic if I wasn't careful. Okay, I don't know what. Okay. All right, I'm going to switch to a different camera, and then let's give this thing a fair review. All right, my friends, let's put some batteries in this. I will say immediately, this grip is crazy bad. I don't want to jump. I'm not here to jump on a hate train at all. That was why I was still so curious to get this, but it is ergonomically weird. It's just strange to me because the Dino Squad blasters and the Dungeons and Dragons, the Dragon Power ones, are so nice and thick plastic and like different materials. It's so bizarre that they seem so much more premium than this. Like, this is long, but this isn't even a lot of material. Ugh. AAA. Like all good Nerfers, I keep a basket of batteries, so AAA, that's no problem. I don't know if it actually only... Okay. It just takes those for the sounds. This is kind of weird to do a review on this because I realize I'm holding it probably very out of frame. What am I missing here? All right. I mean, this little breech thing, this is kind of cool. It'd be nice if there were some sounds when it opened, since we're nitpicking. That sounds neat. We rack that back. That's pretty easy to do. And then we're going to try to fire at that target. Oh, where's my light turn on? Even this is a weird ergonomic choice. I feel like this is going to be more of an ergonomics review critique. I don't feel like I care as much about the performance. But why is this button not on the other side? Now, this is very right-handed of me, but I could trigger this up here with my thumb. That would be nice. Instead, I have to do this. Well, and you know what? I'm giving myself a hard time for talking like a right-handed person, but this is not left-handed friendly either. Like the scope doesn't move, or maybe you could unscrew it and adjust it. I don't know. Everything's glued, I think. Let's fire it. Scope on. That is incredibly cloudy. You can't see anything through there. Let me turn this light on for you. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was so primed on what the performance, oh, pardon the pun, what the performance would be. I mean, that doesn't faze me at all. I really like when you slide this forward, it pops the breech open for you. I think that's neat. That sounds cool. Other people have said, and I agree, I wish you could just rack this forward and then rack it back to close this slide. Yeah. The performance is, yeah, it locks there. You have to manually close it. Good to try it though. I love the sounds. The sounds are probably the best thing about it. I wish more Nerf blasters had sound effects. I love it in that Star Wars one. And the fact that you can just pull the trigger whether you're firing Nerf or not, it's really neat. This one doesn't have a lot of lights on it. It's just this one tiny little LED in there. I can't see through it at all. I'll try to show that. You won't. It'll be hard to show. It does have this little sling point thing, but this is like really bendy plastic. You can't actually use it as a sling point. I would say the paint is bad. I mean, I think that they were trying to do kind of faded metal detailing, but it looks like paint marker kind of blobbed along things. But this grip is the most, I mean, if you can see here, like I can barely, if this is the part of the stock I would use, I can't even reach the trigger. And if I have to hold it up here, it's very, it's very bad. Look at what I have to do here and how much my elbow has to bend for this. Yeah. The one thing I will say, I think people complaining about performance are being a bit silly. For a blaster this long, that shoots a dart out just fine. What are you expecting? This is kind of weird. I thought this would be rubber maybe for like safety, but it's not at all. It's just plastic. I thought I read that it was bendier than it is. Like there's kind of softer-ish plastic nubs here, but they're still, I don't know, this would be rough to poke into somebody, and if you did, this all is going to break apart. It's not going to withstand that. I don't know. It looks, I mean, I can see it looking okay on a shelf, but man, it is uncomfortable to use. Just making this stock longer would have been like it. I don't know how to. Maybe I'll do this. I'll fire it like a rocket launcher. This is bizarre to me. This is bizarre. How do things like this get made when somebody doesn't hold them? I don't know that I've heard people complaining enough about the ergonomics of this. I've heard so much about performance where I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Like it's a big prop jolt, but like that's fine. Like I think it's really cool to have something that's a prop that happens to fire a dart too. Like, well, that's great. I'll put it in my Nerf collection. I'm not going to be going and doing a bunch of games with this. I mean, it would be cool if you could mod it to actually really fire a dart out there, but I don't know. Whatever. The biggest thing with me, 100%, is this stock and grip is Wild. This is becoming a little bit of what I didn't want it to be. I didn't want it to just be a big bashing thing. And I actually thought that maybe people were being a little bit too complaining. And I think in some ways, well, I don't know. You know what? I talk about the barrel drag and how long it is and how you shouldn't expect much, but I mean, they could certainly compensate for that by maybe putting a bit more spring in there and still keep it easy to prime by using some gearing or something to still make it that same prime weight. I mean, something could be done because this is not up to Nerf par for speed at all. I hit the target. I was aiming very above it. I'm going to fire and hold this in a weird way just so you can see as much of the blaster as possible. So let's put in a dart. I'm gonna try a waffle. Cool sound. Rack this back to prime. And then we're gonna see how do we do. Look at how I'm having to hold this. I'm actually like holding the back. This is weird. I'm gonna go, so I'm aiming straight at Bessie. Let's see how we do. Wow. Okay, that didn't like waffles. That's fine. That's not a super shock. Regular elite. More like what it would have came with. And straight at Bessie. Wow, that maybe went 20 feet. Let's do another one, and we will angle it up. I don't like that the sound shuts off if you close the breech. All right, I'm angling way up. And that's a jam. These darts are used, but I mean, they're in quite good shape though. Let's try another one. Primed, angling. Yeah, this thing's bad. I'm going to do this. I'm going to fire a couple more just so you can see me awkwardly holding this and how it looks to hold it. Because if you're buying this, you want to feel as cool as the Mandalorian. I do not. My hand's actually a little crampy from trying to hold this thing. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's no way to comfortably pull the trigger while holding it. The most comfortable I was doing this. That's crazy. Maybe it should have, I don't know, it should have been different. So I'm going to do this. I have to hold it back like this because of the tiny stock. There's no way, if I'm sighting down the barrel, there is no way, I can poke my thumb in my eye. There's no way to actually comfortably hold this. So I'm just going to, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll do this, and oh my God, it went nowhere. So I was kind of thinking, I kind of wondered if I would get this, and because I do like a lot of stuff. I'm not super concerned about performance. I actually kind of wondered if I would get this and end up liking it more than more people. And I do not. The best thing about this review is I kind of feel like I'm on Hoth. Look at that detailing. Like, I guess that's paint on the top there, but it just looks like it's dirty. But it is kind of paint. Here's what I'm talking about here, about the kind of looks like marker. Like, I think they're just trying to, I think they're just trying to make it look like it's been roughed up and aged. But I don't know. I don't think that was maybe the best way to do it. Like, especially look along there. Like, that's what I would do for a Halloween costume. And yeah, the scope is not reversible. I think the button's on the wrong side. Let's take a look at this end piece down here. I mean, again, it would have been kind of cool if these were rubber or a different material, like a material that they use in the Dragon Power stuff or something, or if it was bendier. So you could actually make this kind of a Nerf, you could actually make it like a Nerf weapon that you could jab somebody. That'd be cool, but it is not that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to pick on it all day. Let me open the breech here up close. So we open that up. Here's kind of a better look at the breech. See if I have a dart left here. Load that in there. Cool sound effect, I will say. Clip that back, you're primed, and fire. And there's that weird, super bendy, useless sling point. So I don't know. What do you think? I want to know what you think. Am I being too fussy? I guess in the end, I'm here to tell you the same thing that you've already heard, but from someone else who's maybe less fussy about performance. Don't buy this. Unless you could get this thrifted for a few bucks, then sure, I'll keep my eyes out for it someday if I can snap up a used one just to maybe put it on a wall. But it's not for this money. No way. This thing is like 160 Canadian at Toys R Us. That's insane for what this is. For that money, you could order a Caliber, which then you'd have a really cool looking Nerf rifle that fires a couple 100 feet per second. It does have paint on both sides. Premium. Don't buy it. I am literally walking through town still thinking about that about that blaster, and doing little add-on clips to put into it. I mean, the performance of course is bad. It's like firing through 3 end strike barrel lugs. Like, of course it's not going to go anywhere. It's that stock. That stock is kind of the main villain in the whole thing, more than performance. It's, and the price. The price is bad. I don't know. I didn't want to be a pooper. I didn't want to be a pooper about it. I wanted to be the one positive review. I didn't do it. All right, back to my night. I wasn't done. There is that half price one too that they're doing. So, you know, would it be worth it at half the price without light and sounds and painted orange? I don't think so, because I think that the sounds are the only really cool thing about it. So I don't know that I want those ergonomics without sound. I don't know. So yeah, this one. And I know I said the sound was the best thing about it, but I mean, we're still talking 2 sound effects, or 4 sound effects, 2 for the breech, 2 for the trigger. The breech ones I think are good. The speakers aren't great. The trigger ones, it sounds like you're, I don't know, it sounds like you're flicking a tin can. So, but I don't know. More light and sounds, I would like more of that in Blaster.